And welcome back to Atreyu News. It is now Tuesday afternoon. President Trump just expanded his ban. President Trump has broadbanded his ban on federal dollars going to international groups that perform abortions. And how sweet is that? Pro-life, through and through, pro-life all the way. From Fox News, President Trump has moved to broaden a ban on federal dollars going to international groups that perform abortions or provide abortion information, senior administration officials said Monday. The so-called Mexico City policy would apply broadly to organizations receiving U.S. global health assistance, compared with the past versions of the ban, which specifically targeted international family planning groups. It's a bit shocking to see that people don't understand the real plan here. They're going to destroy the populations of the West and then import massive third world populations to replace them. Why? Well, for one, they get the vote. And number two, they're more easily controlled. The Democratic Party probably has to be the most racist party in the history of the world, that they put no allegiance. They consider them a zero threat, and they're easily controlled. That is why they do it. That is why they want the populations here. In any case, in all, about $8.1 billion in funding could be impacted, far more than $600,000 covered under the previous version of the ban, which critics call the global gag rule. The expanded policy is being dubbed Protecting Life and Global Health Assistance. The officials, who requested anonymity and were not authorized to speak on the record, said the ban would apply to groups working on HIV/AIDS, malaria, maternal and child health, reproductive issues, and global health. Officials said the new policy would be applied immediately to new funding issues and then to existing arrangements as they are amended. To receive funding, health organizations must pledge not to provide abortions or abortion information or provide support to any groups that do. There is an exemption in cases of rape, incest, or when the woman's life is at risk. Aid to national and local governments would be exempted, as is humanitarian assistance, migration aid, and disaster relief. The Secretary of State could also authorize exemptions on a case-by-case basis. And it's like Trump said, we're going to have to invoke God once again, because the Western civilization has become too secular. And a civilization without the belief in God and to cherish life, if you don't have those things, a certain and ultimate collapse would happen, as we've seen time and time again throughout history. So, excellent. Boom. Laura Ingraham's perfect response to Washington Post's latest fake news about Trump. And the fake news is easy to spot. All you have to do is go to the Oracle Google, type in Trump, and your entire web browser will be filled with fake news. Laura Ingraham says her White House sources say Washington Post is fake news. And so true it is. Let's take a look.
Let's have a brief statement for the record. There's nothing that the president takes more seriously than the security of the American people. The story that came out tonight, as reported, is false. The president and the foreign minister reviewed a range of common threats to our two countries, including threats to civil aviation. At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed. And the president did not disclose any military operations that were not already publicly known. Two other senior officials who were present, including the Secretary of State, remember the meeting the same way and have said so. Their on-the-record accounts should outweigh those of anonymous sources. And I was in the room. It didn't happen. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Breaking. Secretary Tillerson releases statement on report of Trump releasing classified information to Russians. Again with the Russia thing. During President Trump's meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov, a broad range of subjects were discussed, among which were common efforts and threats regarding counterterrorism. During that exchange, the nature of specific threats were discussed, but they did not discuss sources, methods, or military operations. It's crazy how the left would portray Russia as an aggressor and they should be destroyed, when in actuality we should be working with Russia to crush ISIS. Who would have a problem with that, you might ask? But people do. Obama really crossed the line with this one. Look what Justice Scalia revealed before he died. And God rest his soul, for he was a great, great man. Justice Scalia confided in Judge Napolitano that he often thought the court was being spied on. From the Gateway Pundit, Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst, went on Fox Business Network on Monday to discuss allegations Senator Rand Paul and another senator were under surveillance by the Obama administration. Napolitano also dropped a bomb on the Obama administration spying on the U.S. Supreme Court. Judge Napolitano, Justice Scalia told me that he often thought the court was being surveilled, and he told me that probably 4 or 5 years ago, if they had to unmask Senator Paul's name to reveal a conversation he was having with a foreign agent, and the foreign agent was hostile to the United States, they can do that. That's not what he's talking about. They're talking about the unmasking him when he's having a conversation with his campaign manager when he's running in the Republican primary. During the discussion, Judge Napolitano also said Barack Obama could be subpoenaed to testify if he viewed the unmasked intelligence. How sweet would that be to see?